Hi, my name is Sean Dangler, and I go by Maniacal Mage on YouTube and SeanAD123 on MTGO. And I think I'm going to start creating content pretty regularly, and I wanted to start off with black-white vampires. The content I plan on creating is going to be mostly standard decks, some top 3 tier decks that I want to go over. I've been doing it for a while. I've been working on vampires for the last couple of weeks. I have access to mana traders, and I can change decks frequently as I want. So it seems like a no-brainer to go ahead and create content. It's something I want to do, and so here, let's kick it off. I'm going to start off with the main differences since there's a lot of this list going around already. I'm just going to start off with how I changed it up and why. So I have 3 Forsaken Sanctuaries with only 14 creatures in the deck. Unclaimed territory is really not an option. So only 3 Forsaken Sanctuaries. I feel like the chances at untapped lands, you got 7 possible ones, late in the game. Concealed Courtyards are obviously great in your opening hand. You hope for one of those really every opening hand. 3 Ifnir Deadlands and 4 Shephet Dunes. You can sack one to the other or vice versa for whichever one you really need. You only have to have, one or the other. Another main difference you'll notice, a lot of people are only running either 2 or 4 Fatal Pushes. I run 3 main deck and none in the sideboard, but then I leave myself access to the Thopter Arrests. That lets me get rid of any of the annoying little creatures, which there aren't too many that can bother us in the meta. Glint Sleeve Siphoner, obviously, it gives your opponent way too much card advantage. We got to get him out of there. Whining Constrictor gives your opponent way too much size and board advantage, so you got to get him out of there. You have Thopter Arrest in case you can't find the Fatal Push, but Thopter Arrest can also be used for Rekindling Phoenix, the Scarab God, Glory Bringers, anything that's going to really set you back. Then you got 2 shots at a removal in your main deck with Cast Out and Ixalan's Binding. If you draw both of them, you can cycle the Cast Out and keep on moving. With this deck, it's really important, kind of every card has its importance, so that's why, 3 Legions Landings, you can't play 4, you just can't do it. You have access to other token generators, Queen's Commissions, and Call to the Feast. Champion of Dusk is my biggest ace up my sleeve. This card has been super powerful, super underrated, and much better than Crested Sunmare for me. I'll get into the sideboard a little bit. Profane Procession is great for the big creatures. They're running like green-red monsters. I'll leave like 1 Cast Out or 1 Binding, bring in Profane Procession, maybe take out a Thopter Arrest for a second one. You got Vraska's Contempt that helps you with little Planeswalkers and getting rid of Rekindling Phoenix or Scarab God. Like I mentioned before, those cards are really troublesome for any deck. So not just us, for everyone. Sometimes Cast Out's better than Binding, and sometimes Binding's better than Cast Out. In this deck, you choose, in the second and third games, which one you like better, or if the mix of the two is good, then continue on. But I'm going to get into some gameplay, and let's kick it off. So I'm going to start off with just game replay, and I want to do some live games. This is the first 3 games of a 5-match competitive standard league, so I will do the last 2 games I definitely am going to do in live gameplay. So here, my first opponent, his name is Hey Nong Man, and he is an 8-time trophy winner just this season, so he is really good, and he has beat me before, so I do remember. I don't lose too many people, so I tend to remember the names of the people that have beaten me. So here we go. Concealed Courtyard. Like I said, we always want that in our opening hand. That's a great start. I have no turn 1 or really turn 2 play besides Legion's Lieutenant, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. He's going to scatter me. Great. So here it's really important for me to decide, do I want to Radiant Destiny or Queen's Commission? I choose Queen's Commission if I want to get something on the board. He cycles Fetid Pools and plays Gonti, which is a nice move. Like I said, I'm trying to improve the board state, build up that Champion of Dust. Maybe next turn I could draw quite a few cards. He has 4 untapped mana here, so I think I'm going to avoid the counter spell and try to bring out Radiant Destiny, which is even kind of more detrimental to him. So I'm going to hold the Champion of Dusk. I don't want to get Essence Scattered again. Or Supreme Blow. Both of those really powerful spells got through. Legion's Landing and Radiant Destiny got through. I think I will be able to cast Champion of Dusk next turn. So he's going to bind Radiant Destiny. A lot of people do that. That's happened to me quite a bit. That's why the sideboard, the Fragmentize, is so important. Powerful that is. And then I have another one in hand, so if I run out of spells again, then he knows it's over. And I got a handful. Game 2, I sideboarded in Vraska's Contempt, only 1 Profane Procession. I brought in a couple of Duresses, not 4, because I've seen blue-black mid-range where they're really creature-based, champion with Sleep Siphoner, Gonti. If they pile up on those, you can end up whiffing with a Duress, so you don't want to do that. So I made a couple, just in case. I wouldn't mind drawing 1, but I definitely don't want to draw 2. You see what I mean? If one of those was a Duress, and then negate, you can't do that. So you have to be careful with your sideboarding options in this deck, because you have to make sure your creature count stays up and your creature spells are there. You can't rely on necessarily always hitting a card. And you see what he just did. He bounced. He committed. Commit to memory the Radiant Destiny, and then Gonti'd it away. So that was pretty nice. I'm gonna try to use up my lands. I mean, like, I'm not firing Champion of Dusk into 6 untapped lands. I never would have got countered by Torrential Gearhulk. So I'm gonna have to get him to try to pull out this. And he commits that. Which is so I pretty much got it He got lucky as hell. So game 3. We start talking now because we're not like talking shit or anything. We just start talking about it's like, oh, I remember playing you. I say the same, and so here I want to try to use my mana the best I can. Not just the just in time fatal push. That a feeling he wouldn't block anyway, so I mean he's just gonna lose the creature. So now, sure. That kinda, I don't know. Now I decide to push him. I'm almost certain he has a removal. So he can. He's gonna bounty it again. So he destroys a land on my turn. He doesn't want to get hit by Sheffet Dunes. So, what shall I do? I decide really the only play here is to attack, flip Legion's Landing, and leave the mana up. There's nothing to do. Whatever he plays, I will get rid of it. This is where cast out would have been sweet. Shit happens. So the next game, my next matchup, I beat what I feel like blue-black mid-range is the best deck in the format. My next matchup was against green-white dinosaur control. Like, get the fuck out of here, guys. So you can pretty much never having this matchup. I went off the Forsaken Sanctuary, not a bad play. I like the artwork. It's a pretty card. So at is he playing white aggro? I still can't remember. So let me get my vamps going. Like if I could have hit right, he just blocked both of them. Back and I casted out his Ixalan. He cast out my cast out. Like, what is this mono white enchantment dinosaurs? Like, yeah. Green white enchantment dinosaurs. Like, this is stupid. And then it's like ramp too, so he uses the gem. Thunderhurt. Yeah, migrate. Let's get another land. I didn't have enough to kill him, so why sack the Sheffet Dunes? But what I could have done is if I had played the Ifnit, I could have Sheffet Dunes that previous turn. Never mind. He'd be at 3. Yeah, but if he was there's no telling if he would have attacked that way, so I don't know. A play is a play. That left the Ifnir Deadlands. Avatar if I wanted to. I don't know. After arrest. Seems good. Pump. He was at 3 and made that same mistake. Ixalan's binding would have been nice. So second verse, same as the first. Pretty much. I can't duress Waking Sun's Avatar. I did bring in Lost Legacy, didn't find it. So I feel like I got a good hand. Just play it as I want to get in early extra points of damage, so I'm bringing out Legion Lieutenant first. Now I can hit for 3 here instead of 2. looks like fumigate. No, hour of blockers. So it has blockers. I can get it just So, yeah. Game 3 or match 3. This is Grixis Energy, another actual top tier deck, not a pile of jank, just geared to beat tribal decks, which is what essentially they are. So, he's anti that, but what else does he beat? Nothing. Like, not mono red, not mono black, not anything super aggro, not anything control. So in competitive standard league, nonetheless. So it must do all right, or he's really persistent on the dinosaurs. Braid there's. This guy's definitely gonna kill all your stuff. So this is match 3. Match 4 and 5 I'm going to play tonight, and I'm going to definitely play and record live. So I have a ton of land. I can't play a land that turn. I just want him to think this was shrink his word and cast it, which just throws me off. I'm not trying to cast that into 5 golden mana. It just keeps getting better for us. This is a hard deck to beat. They have a lot of power. It was one of the decks that, I mean, obviously it's really popular because it's probably the number 1 deck right now, and that was the reason I wanted to change the sideboard, because I didn't feel like the sideboard was now I do. So this is game 1, and I feel like we are battling well. There's Gearhulk. See, I thought there was really sleep cycle, but you really have to get rid of that, or else take over the game. See why this card is just like, would Crested Sunmare have gotten us back in it there? No, definitely not. See what I mean? So he still took that game. I mean, he had like the Nut Draw, he had Glorybringer, Glint Sleep Siphoner, Torrential Gearhulk, Scarab God, he had everything. He had 3 Whirler Virtuosos. Like, get the fuck out of here, really. You just get out of here. So takes game one, so that means it comes down to the sideboard choices, and this well, definitely drew my sideboard, so I'll keep. I have one vampire, two vampires, but he's a good one. See, another thing I like to do is I like to cast spells before attacks and after attacks. Like, purposely noob or bad play when it doesn't matter. When he's tapped out, what's wrong with casting spells before the attack phase? If it doesn't matter, just do it. Okay, maybe he dies when maybe you have nothing. So you can be strategic like that. Like I did in the last game when I didn't play a land or didn't play a spell, I just used my other lands. So, sometimes it's not about that doesn't get it done always, because I like to keep a call to the beast in case something bad happens. I have to get rid of this Glorybringer. He's dropping my life totals. He's constantly saving things. That decided to Nebraska's contempt. So let's get rid of him. He's got one mana. He's not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything. Would it have mattered if I casted that after? No. So do it there. Cast other spells. Do other things. Force him attacks. See, here I would have liked to leave up 5 mana. I knew Gearhulk's coming. Like, why not play anything? Ran over, so you needed to have played something, but you didn't. So, I wanted Gearhulk to come out. But I needed them to, also be 2/2s. So now if I see Champion of Dusk, I can use him. We'll take that. Not gonna attack there, don't have the mana for 2/2s. So that tells me and he bottomed. So yeah, we'll take those. It feels like that so now I'm willing to trade tokens because the game's so let's try final match, Nexus Energy, Black White. Want to get out that turn 1, a second turn Forsaken Sanctuary. Obviously not. Let's get another 1 token. I really like vampires. Maybe it's the whole like interview with the vampire. Vampire werewolf. Twilight. Yeah, that kind of killed it for us, but vampires are cool nonetheless. Dracula's cool. Like Bram Stoker's. Yes, please. Sure. Crescent Sunray would have. I really forgot that he played that. I will continue to find a spot where Sunmare was better than Champion of Dusk, and I don't think it's gonna happen. Definitely just keep on with my little 4/4s and not. Oh yeah, we'll get that out of here. It would have been nice to. I had to use the instant. He wanted to do some trickery, and that's why he I like binding here, obviously for the extra damage, but for the reason that it sends the message to them that, oh well, we can probably like maybe scare or something powerful.